And then I'd like to turn it back over to Dr. Brandon so we can get Senator Paul, my favorite politician since Theodore Roosevelt.
Thank you, Greg. Y'all stay here. Tommy, y'all stay here. Y'all are gonna need to, Tommy, y'all are gonna need to be up here. So next we want to certainly welcome and introduce Senator Dr. Rand Paul. His entrance into politics is indicative of his life work as a surgeon, a desire to diagnose problems and provide practical solutions, whether in Bowling Green, Kentucky, or Washington, D.C. Senator, good to have you, Senator Rand Paul. I don't have a shirt, but I got a hat.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here. Greg and your team, congratulations on all you've done so far, the expansion, and let me know when the next expansion comes so I can come back. Dr. Brandon, referring to the beginning stages of this and the trial with him, reminds me of riding around in the car right around the time the DEA said, these are drugs and we're coming after you, and they held up the supply in Louisville. So I'm riding around with my assistant state director, and she says, oh, by the way, you don't mind, I have 7 pounds of hemp seeds in the back of the car as we're driving around. I said, oh, that'll make headlines, for arrested for cannabis seeds, hemp seeds. But anyway, it went on. I testified before the state legislature early on to help with the state rules. I've been a big fan of this from the very beginning. I will tell you, though, about 6 months ago, folks from the hemp industry came to me and they said, something's happening and it could literally destroy the entire hemp industry. When it was legalized several years ago, they set a limit, and there's a number. The new number they have would be half as much. It wouldn't matter so much in this industry because the THC isn't a concern, but some of the things that are sold, the CBD oil and the gummies and things, probably some of the effect of why people buy them is because of the THC that's in them. It's a small amount compared to marijuana, but there's some. If you cut that in half, you may well destroy the market. You may well make it where we can't produce stuff at that level. But they also said in the amendment that CBD oil can only have a nominal amount of THC. Well, that doesn't sound very scientific to me because I don't know what nominal means, but it sounds small. Is it 0? Is it close to 0? Is it going to be something that's so low nobody wants to buy CBD oil anymore? But this isn't very thoughtful. This passed out of the House. It came to the Senate. And sometimes you have veto power. I can't fix this forever, but I have temporary veto power. And I said, I will not consent to the agricultural appropriations coming forward unless you take the amendment out. So they took it out, and I let them have the vote. We passed the agricultural money, but the Senate doesn't have the amendment in. The House does. The key in this is probably 2 people that need to be convinced that there's a better way. One is Andy Harris, who's in appropriations in the House, and the other is your senior senator. Now, your senior senator was involved with getting this started in the beginning. He deserves credit for being a big part of getting this in the Farm Bureau. But him or his staff aren't thinking clearly on this amendment. This amendment will destroy the hemp industry. Something more thoughtful has to happen. And I've been thinking about this, and for 2 or 3 years, or maybe 5 years, I've been putting forward a hemp bill that says we shouldn't test the plant anyway. I think it's ridiculous to test the plant. I think all you should have to show if you're a farmer growing hemp is a certificate saying I'm growing hemp. And you get it from a certified dealer and you grow it. I don't care what it is because the only time it matters is if it's going to be eaten. All right? Since we don't eat the plant that is made for HempWood, it gets processed and none of the plant is eaten, you shouldn't test it at all. There is no reason under God's green earth to test this plant at all. That would be a huge improvement. But if you agree with me, you've got to help me. You've got to call Senator McConnell. You've got to call Representative Harris and try to say, look, we don't eat our plant. What they are concerned about are people getting some juiced up hemp products that have intoxicating effect. That does not apply to your industry at all. But this is a good chance, while this controversy is going on, to try to get the grower out of this. The farmer should not be tested. Why? Because I can grow 0.3% hemp, and I can distill all the water off of it, and I can make it 10% THC. You can make it any number when you distill something by taking water off. You make something more concentrated. But there are some reasonable rules that can be made about things they're adding into hemp products that are edible. I'm open to hearing from you what those rules will be, but there are probably going to have to be some rules, and that's going to be the trade-off. But what we don't want is what they have put forward now, I think would kill the hemp industry. It's too low. It's about half as much as what we currently have, and it doesn't fit the farm solution. So particularly for HempWood, let's lobby to get the plant out completely. But even for the hemp products that people eat, I don't think you need to test the farm product. Test what is being eaten. One of the senators came up to me from a corn state and he says, well, you know, we make alcohol from corn, but we don't regulate how much alcohol's in the corn. You know, you regulate the alcohol, you regulate what's being consumed. So there's no reason to regulate the plant, you regulate what is the product. And so this was a mistake from the beginning. I don't have the power to permanently fix it unless you all get involved, unless you all call your national associations and get them involved. There is a logical compromise to what the amendment will be, but what it is now, I think will kill the industry. It may not, I don't know if it kills the hempwood industry, but it won't be good because it's one more rule. It's a lower limit. It's just going to be more difficult for farmers who have to plow their crops under. But I am a big fan of freedom, of innovation, of new businesses. I love that you're in Western Kentucky, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Greg, I believe you're going to present that to him.
Yes,
And
sir.
I think we're going to have a ceremonial wood cutting, I think. So,
I thought I would use martial arts.
So this is for you here. Thank you, sir. It's very good.
we could have all of our speakers come up and play.
Our company's name is actually Fibonacci, because the Fibonacci sequence, carbon sequestration ratio of plants, and the compression ratio of making the eucalyptus smarter than outcomes. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to get you to cut this. Tom, you're going to pull these down off the front. Right? All right. He's got a saw for you. I've got.
We're going to make sure and get good eye protection here for the eye surgeons.
It's only going to be pretty short.
That's all right.
It's really up to you. All right, Timmy, nothing other than pull the trigger over here. All right. Okay, do we need to hold the board? Hold on each side. Where do you want me to cut? Right through?
There's a line right here.
I got, if I miss the line, we're
Don't
going
matter
to.
if you miss the line.
I'm hitting my catch.
Don't bend the board.
You're going to
while
have to
it's
pull it
doing
back.
that.
So, but I still have to angle it
It
down.
went better in practice.
Yep.
Still have to angle it down.
Yes, sir.
Just stay level with the board.
All right, it's kind of a weird position because I can't see
Yeah,
what it
say
is.
you flat.
Yeah, do we want it flat?
Thank you, Senator Paul. Thank you, Greg. Greg, do you have any closing comments?
Thank you to the community. Thank you for everybody coming out. Thank you for people that traveled from afar. We have Mina came from Pennsylvania to come and see what we were doing here. We have Professor Miller, who actually invented the glue that we use, and that is going to trickle down using soy instead of petroleum in a lot of different building material products. So he didn't want to come up here and speak today, so I had to make sure we at least spoke about him. So thank you for everybody coming. Yep, we have our local judges here. Judge Imes, he came out. He's actually been to every single event that we've had through the years. We have, if anybody is hungry, the burgers actually came from a cow that was raised on my organic farm. I was grinding it up into burger today. So if anybody wants to take one home, you're more than welcome. And we have samples over here. If anybody has a project, whether it's in their home or their office, grab some samples, take it home, and just give me a call when you're ready.